Buddhism is one of the oldest and the most influential religions in the world, with millions of followers around the globe. It originated in ancient India, where it was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, who later came to be known as the Buddha. The teachings of Buddhism are based on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, which emphasizes the importance of compassion, mindfulness, and self-awareness. The story of its origin, its founder, and its beliefs is a very interesting one, and that is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. In today's video, we will delve into the history and origins of Buddhism, exploring its development from the very beginning to its spread throughout Asia and beyond. So stay with us till the end of the video. The story of Buddhism begins in ancient India during the 6th century BCE. At that time, India was a land of many different religions, including Hinduism, Jainism, and various tribal religions. Siddhartha Gautama was born into a wealthy family in the kingdom of Shakya, which is located in present-day Nepal. His father, King Shuddhodhan, had great hopes for his son, believing that he would one day become a powerful ruler. To ensure that Siddhartha would not be influenced by the harsh realities of the outside world, his father raised him in a life of luxury, sheltered from all the hardships of life. However, as Siddhartha grew older, he became increasingly dissatisfied with his life of privilege. He was troubled by the sufferings he saw around him, and he began to question the nature of existence itself. At the age of 29, he decided to leave his life of luxury and seek enlightenment. He left his family and his kingdom behind and embarked on a spiritual journey that later changed his life and the lives of millions of others. Siddhartha spent the next several years studying with various spiritual teachers and undergoing rigorous ascetic practices. However, he found that none of these practices could help him find the answers he was seeking. Finally, he decided to sit under a banyan tree, which later came to be known as the Bodhi tree, and meditate until he reached enlightenment. Legend has it that after meditating for several days, Siddhartha finally achieved enlightenment. He became the Buddha, which means the enlightened one. He spent the rest of his life teaching others about his experiences and spreading the message of Buddhism. The teachings of Buddhism are based on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths are the foundation of Buddhist philosophy and describe the nature of suffering and how it can be overcome. The first noble truth is that all life is all about suffering. The second noble truth is that suffering arises from desire and attachment. The third noble truth is that suffering can be overcome. The fourth noble truth is the way to overcome suffering is through the Eightfold Path. So what is the Eightfold Path? The Eightfold Path is a set of guidelines for living a mindful, compassionate life. It consists of right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. By following the Eightfold Path, one can overcome the causes of suffering and achieve enlightenment. Buddhism began to spread throughout India during the lifetime of Buddha. He attracted many followers, both rich and poor, who were drawn to his teachings and compassion and self-awareness. During King Ashoka's reign, Buddhism received royal patronage and support, which helped it to spread throughout the empire. King Ashoka himself converted to Buddhism after a particularly brutal war, which left him deeply affected by the loss of life and suffering. He is said to have sent Buddhist missionaries to various parts of India and even beyond its borders to spread the message of Buddhism. As a result of Ashoka's effort, Buddhism gained a significant following, especially among the lower castes of society. The Buddha's message of equality and compassion resonated with those who had been marginalized by the caste system and other forms of oppression. Buddhism also affected many intellectuals and scholars who were drawn to its emphasis on logic and reason. Over time, Buddhism began to decline in India, especially after the reign of the Gupta Empire from 320 CE to 550 CE. The rise of Hinduism and the decline of royal patronage were significant factors in Buddhism's decline. Many Buddhist monasteries and universities were destroyed, and Buddhist texts were lost or forgotten. By the 12th century, Buddhism had all but disappeared from India, surviving only in remote pockets in the Himalayan region. However, Buddhism continued to have thrived in other parts of Asia, especially in Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, and East Asia. Buddhist missionaries and scholars traveled to these regions, carrying with them the teachings of the Buddha. They established monasteries, universities, and libraries which helped to prepare and propagate Buddhist texts and ideas. In Southeast Asia, Buddhism took a unique character, blending with indigenous beliefs and practices. Theravada Buddhism, which emphasizes the individual's pursuit of enlightenment, became the dominant form of Buddhism in Southeast Asia. In East Asia, Buddhism took on different forms, such as Mahayana Buddhism, which emphasizes the Bodhisattva ideal and the belief in multiple Buddhas. Buddhism also became closely associated with Taoism, blending with these traditions to create a unique East Asian cultural identity. Today, Buddhism is one of the major religions of the world, with millions of followers in Asia, Europe, North America, and even in South America. It is viewed as a religion of meditators and monks who dwell into the vast subconscious mind of the human body. This was all for this video. Thank you for watching.